My dream was to become like military officer.
Yeah.
I grew up as one of the ordinary, children in Ashaiman, starting from as far as I can remember, from Sikafo and Bantem. That I was told because I was really too small, and then we moved on to, somewhere around official town, somewhere around, and then to Zone 1, Lebanon, Zone 1, and then finally to Zone 2. So being an Ashaiman boy, I know all the ends. So I grew up as one of those kids who attended government school in Ashaiman.
Okay.
So I went through primary school in government school number 3, and then I moved from there after the third year. That's after class 3. Then I moved to a private school in Ashaiman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Career-wise, I had not. I mean, earlier on, we're still. I was a child at the time, so I was just happy being a child, And I remember that when we write school exams or end of term exams, and walking from government school assignment number 3 to Lebanon, Zone 1, it's quite a walk, and at that time everybody would know that school Amakwine. So when you're going home as a child and as a young student, you'll be to me from us in my mental results. It'll be to me from because when you say school Amakwine or my wadi or my so anytime when somebody sees me, they're like, hey, yeah, dear Paul, and then you're happy.
Yeah.
You just walk on. And so I think I began to hear what I was going to be from people. Like, as in, they had their own plans. For me. But me and Kasana, as a young child, me then I go to school and me bomb home more than But after that, I think one thing I always dreamt of was because see our system, you go to school from when you're at age. Whenever we go school, JSS in 9 years. Primary school, classes, JSS another 3 years. SS over to us. So that whole time, in a school, and you're just trying to figure out what you want to be. But my dream was to become like an officer. That's what I dreamed of, and I know a lot of people may have heard me answer this. Yeah, military officer. That's what I dreamt about, like dreams. You don't force dreams, do you?
Yeah, it is.
So I'm a PE teacher near the it's like an army or a commander near a PE teacher near there. So these were the dreams I had. So I didn't have any particular dream of becoming a Stonebwoy. Neither. So that was it.
That was just basically it.
That was just basically it.
What were some of the things you can really remember about growing up in Ashaiman? These days, I mean, you hear a lot. You and I know a lot of things that we hear. I mean, aside music, there's a lot we see. Has it always been the case? Was it what you saw growing up?
Growing up in Ashaiman is the best thing I could ever imagine or could have ever happened to me, because it's a combination of everything in life you're finding over there, from poverty to riches, from ghettos to all class of people live in Ashaiman as we speak. Some of the most well-to-do people in Ghana and some of the poorest and all of that. So a combination of all these, I regard myself as a middle class, person, where it was not durable, but once you live in Ashaiman, you feel it sometimes. Sometimes you can see that, BBI okay, but she need what I here. So I had the opportunity to grow from such a background where I think even my kids will not be privileged to enjoy that type of environment, So Ashaiman really grew me up, taught me all the things that I think I know, so far.
That's on a larger scale. That is Ashaiman. At home, the home setting that you grew up in.
Yeah.
what sort of things in there influenced who you are, how your personality is now? You mentioned earlier that you had dreams of becoming an army officer. Definitely discipline setting from that part. But what are some of the things that you picked up from your home setting? Things that still live with you till now?
Yeah. Charity, they say, begins at home, and the home setting is a primary place, is a core foundation of everybody's being. So I'm actually thankful again that I grew up with my mother and my father and my sisters and brother. So it was a tight family. We all did everything as a family, and the morals and the discipline from my father, as well as the love from my mother, grew me up like this, and I'm from a very spiritual home, where we practice our spirituality through Christianity. Then time there, I grew up on the Bible a lot, core,
like deep rooted.
Deep. Like you could be playing football, and when your father comes, he say, hey, calls you in, and it's the Bible. It's Bible study, bro.
Yeah, straight up.
It's Bible singing from time. I've been singing from when I was a child, a child in the church, because my father was sort of an elder. So there was responsibility on the elders, on the elder of the church's kids. You know what I mean? So
you have to do something.
I'm reading the Bible, I'm teaching the Bible, I'm singing music, I'm leading the choir, I'm leading the children's choir, I'm part of the youth choir when we grew up. So, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing music all my life. And at home, I'll be that guy who entertains everybody till he falls asleep. So that has been with me from even when I was in primary school. Like from when I was in class 5, I actually wrote a poem and a play for the whole school to act for speech and prize giving day. You find me doing all these things. I'll read, I'll do some speech, I'll act.
Multi-talented guy.
I'll do taekwondo, I'll run athletics. It's just that guy is everywhere.
You did all of that.
That's the kind of person I.
And that was the same spirit you carried through senior high school,
exactly.
Right?
So same spirit from so I was being music has been with me, and I've been singing from time. I've been composing music when I was in class 5. So I think there's a picture of mine online also. It's me and my squad, like I had a group in them one day, so I've been at this.
So but the performing thing for the music style you have now clearly sort of like had its strong grounds from senior high school.
Yes, but when I was going into senior high school, yes, for sure. Like, I had to sit in class once upon a time in senior high school 1 and decide. I remember that day vividly. Like, it was after an examination or a quiet time, a quiet period somehow. One teacher missed the period, and I just had the opportunity to think so deep, and I'm like, okay, so from here, where will they go? Where will they go? I'm like, all right. So I actually searched, honestly speaking, and I remember this today. I was wondering why that didn't happen probably at home or somewhere, but in class.
In class, yeah.
Bro, it was like I zoned out. And for that level, I can still remember it. I zoned out and I was like, okay, I ended up saying I have to take this serious. Because I thought like, okay, so after school, what's up? Considering my current situation, that's why I'm somebody who actually, I'm so much of a realist, bro. You don't fantasize too much. You consider your current situation and apply what you have to apply. Don't overthink. So consider my current situation of someone who's things were not going on well at all at the time, and I'm like, okay, fine. At the end of senior high school, I knew there was no one to pay my fees and push me up on the education ladder. So I had that thought, like 3 years. I was in SS1, so I'm like, so you're school now, live. And I'm like, all right, cool, I might just take my music serious. So right from senior high school 1, bro. And it's now when I came to school, and I was babbling still because I was doing this from primary school, JSS. So you have the vibe, you have your vibes, you have your squad, you have your classmates, you have people who knew you in the area, that type of guy. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I got the opportunity as well. I think it was before then I got the opportunity to go to Adom FM that first year where they had the Kasahari going on every time. So that was it. A friend of mine would Bolaski, I remember his name, Bolaski, I've forgotten his government name. He would force me and say, yo, but you, the way you be tight like this, because we go beat decks, I go rap, I go ragga, I go sing, Charlie, you forgot that program. I'm like, yo, but you yourself, say, and I was not really, so me, I just chose. So guess what he did? I think he managed to He first what happened be say, long story short, we were here one Saturday. We did Adum FM. The line was like 50 boys, 60 boys. And my condition, I was had to work with an aid, walking aid. So I had a walking stick. I think I had my clutches or something because sometimes I went to school because of my situation. So I was like, oh, okay. So the guy look, you see that one way they hold some clutch way. That be Duncan. You say you come. And when they call you, say come, where you pass through that first door, second door into the studio, first door here, second and the third door into the studio, bro. Your adrenaline they rise from the time you walk through the hallway till when you get to the second door. The first door be the security and boys stay there like 50, 25 thereabout. So if he call you like that, he comes and picks at random. Come, and then you know, say this is your opportunity for
you to shine,
bro. If you fail, no, that be because boys plenty. So man puts me through. So when I got on the thing, it's like, yo,
we did here.
You what be your name? So my name is Stone. Say no, say Livingstone. So everybody calls me Stone. I say my name is Stone. You the rapper, or you the ragga, or you the singer. I say, oh, me, if you do or anything, you give me beer. Because that time we have some rap bars, we have everything set. You know, because we knew that from primary. So me, my qualified, I'm in Namho. So he opened one beat, bro. Okay, so when I said I did ragga, he paired some rappers, and there was no one to ragga. So there was one guy, coincidentally, to the ragga guy. If his name is not Tobadoneja, then must be some other name. I remember, I remember because the ragga, the name for heavy. You see, if you be ragga, those times, like they hear Bujubante, Kepetan, Sizzla, Kalonji. It be ragga reggae artists where they go feel have full name, where one of the names self no be their real name. I'm just saying. Before we go find out their real name. So heavy name, bro. And I was short like that. The guy told. So the power self, he give me a hot day inside where they just put us on the thing, bro. That was it for me.
Do you remember the lines? Do you remember the ragga?
Bro, the lines here. Then I get plenty bars, but honestly, I know they remember. So I fire them, but then I be freestylist too. Wow. So that was my key. So I defeat spell the guy head to toe as he did there, as the thing they go on. So that was when I got my break. So it was Duncan at the time. So when I said Stone, he said, okay, so there's one Stone, and when he turns on the mic like that and it goes on air, bro, that time social media no get to me, YouTube self no really boss, so that was the whole media. So once he opened the mic like that way, he say, we have one Stonebwoy in the house. That's how I became Stonebwoy till now.
Wow.
He added the boy so because of the ragga vibe. Me, I was Stone.
And we had just one Stonebwoy. Because you did ragga, he added the boy.
So we say one Stonebwoy, rude boy styling, you know, Nadi, Dr. Dan, you know the vibes.
Dr. Dan can understand.
So that was where man went on with Stonebwoy.
Stonebwoy. And so you left the place with a different personality, not a different personality, an uplifted personality.
Yes, that's why I consider my journey as divine, you know. It's highly divine, and I'm thankful every time. That's why I bless His Imperial Majesty every time, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You know, every minute He's with me, He's with us. He chooses our path, and you know, once you yourself, you jack up yourself, you know, if you understand yourself, and Ganj go tell you, me, I jack up myself.
No be today.
No be today. That's why when I hear for a year, I did that's my favorite song.
It was so wow, but then I mean, all these were happening. You were still getting signs that music was the thing for you.
Yeah,
you guys
because
were
I realized that everything else was taken away from me apart from music, bro. Trust me, like, guess what? After my accident, I was supposed to be at home for a while. But I say, no, I can't do that because I even wrote my BEC whilst I was in the hospital. I was supposed to write my BEC in the hospital. So my year group, which was 2003 year group from BEC, like, I couldn't write it. I was heartbroken because now you're more. So I wrote with the 2004 year group.
You wrote a year after.
But I didn't go to school the whole year. And I came up tops. I remember it.
No
my
problem.
cousin definitely, Adam Fui, our uncle passed away. He's going to be buried next week. May so rest in peace. They came back from Nigeria, and Kazo, he came with a computer and was playing Mr. Raga Raga. So every time the guy, the beat Shaggy, the beat, so that one self be the foundation of my raga. That was because I was, you know, that time we be small. I must have been around 10 at the time. So when they came from Nigeria to relocate, computer is crying. And my dad also got us a computer anyway, so he would play all the select, like he's like, yo, he played beats and all of that, like he also loved the something. So then I was very close to him. So every time when I'm not home and I'm not hustling around, I'm always close to. That's from the family side. And then another Woland, I have to remember him now. He is actually somebody who took me in as a friend from Snooki. His name is Aaron Snooki.
Okay.
Snooki is he did a song with Konti Hene. He's been in the scene from a while, years. And I think there was a part of him that never really got to shine.
Yeah.
Which is because anytime I heard him sing so beautifully like Jackie also. Even in the area, they were the brothers on the scene.
They had the turf.
They had the turf, and I was like looking up to him. Him and they had a clan called the LA Clan.
Okay.
I think I'm saying this for the first time on radio. So he was part of the clan, and there were some brothers. Atu Mills, big up yourself today. We still vibe and link, And Atu Mills will come in from time to time. That's like in the Ashaiman journey proper. So these were the people, you go school, you come, you hustle. Them were the ones who
they shaped things.
And the whole Ashaiman knew them as some type of different squad. Because if you go see, if them go braid in my hair and things and wear some slipper and socks, they show you Yankee.
Yeah.
You understand? So I got drawn to those people, and Snooki per se, he was the one that I remember going to space to go and call him, say, bro, what's up? And I wanted to always hang with him.
For an artist, for the sake of people coming up?
Yeah, you have to have a direction, I believe so, as an artist.
Okay.
You have to have a direction, and because it actually starts with you and ends with you and depends on you most often, not to say that, guess what, even if it depends on you 90, and there's 2, 1, 4, 5 coming in to make it 100, it's equally vital those other minor points, because if they weren't vital, you could have had it all as well.
True.
And as much as you having all 90 in case, even if doesn't mean that you have to look down and disrespect the other points that come in. So to form a great team is just a combination of you knowing your direction and having people who equally share in that light. You would hardly find people who are there for the growth of it all, but for themselves.
Yeah.
So you realize even sometimes it shifts. The paradigm shifts when sometimes it starts on a very honest and loyal grounds, and then inside somewhere it switches, but it's still camouflaged with that loyalty, and it becomes naturally the need of the leader. But that is what we face in this place. That's why I'm mentioning it. That's how come you realize that it's not easy to form a great team around you. There are definitely going to be ups and downs, left and right, because we're humans, we're dealing with a lot of things. But on the musical turf, you have to understand the direction. You have to read. You as well. If you're lucky enough to have like a label that will dictate for you and put you and weave you, fine. But I was not fortunate enough to come out from that school where you were 360s, where you were made by a label. You know what I mean? Who knows what they made, the name they gave.
They had the blueprints for that, and so you basically just do your part. It follows a process and things come out. You just had to do that tackle in there.
And I think most of us have done it,
So what happened to Putu?
Yeah, Putu is now a national anthem in Ivory Coast.
Wow.
When I met the president, me and him, we spoke that now it should stand well. So I'll bring a remix for him. So I've finished the remix. And if it not be something, if I play the remix today,
we'll drop it from. I think we'll premiere it for them.
Yeah, I will take give. I'll take give Ganj.
Exclusive
thing. Mastered, so play them like that. Exclusive remix will not come today. So on your email, make a knock you.
Allow song out.
So Putu has become the world's most prayerful song, where you pray until the unexpected unravels. So you have to go into the realms of calling the unknown. You have to have faith to speak your tongue. So now I added the francophone people, because only when I went to Ivory Coast was when I realized that type of style is also valid. So please don't when Patapal got really popular with it, it was as if it has never existed.
Yeah.
But many creatives will tell you that when they go into the studio, most often they lay the vibes, and then they turn the vibes into lyrics and that. And sometimes it doesn't have to turn into lyrics. It's okay the way it is.
The vibe is okay.
You just steady the vibes and flow with it. And I realized the French people call that coupé de Calais. So they are not saying anything. All that we have been hearing, nothing.
It's just a vibe on it.
It's just a vibe, and they can harmonize it. They can. So I'm like, thank you. That means I am a coupé de Calais. Same way Patapa can qualify for coupé de Calais and anybody else. And guess what? It's been done when Rema's he was not saying nothing. He said it. He said he was not saying anything. And it's allowed. Sometimes music is not sometimes. Music goes beyond languages anyway. It's vibes. So.
You clearly heard some of the criticisms people put out. You know, after you released Putu, that Stonebwoy has been a documented artist. You know, his songs are full of lyrics that we make pieces of, and so why would he just go drop, excuse me to say, gibberish on there?
The beautiful thing is it doesn't change those other songs that have lyrics. It doesn't. When you play them, you still find the lyrics is there. It doesn't change. No change on there. So it's there. You know, but we always have to, like I say, study the market, make sure we are actually, and look, Putu got everybody happy during the COVID times proper. Even when after I've dropped EBU, so we have lots of different people with different appetites. And as an entertainer, I have to, if I have the capacity to be able to satisfy a lot of people, like I'm a chef, I have to be able to cook continental dishes, I have to be able to cook lasagna, so I say, as a musician, it's like a driver. If you are an experienced driver and you are a serious driver, you can drive everything, even trailer, even Tico, even, you know, so that's just the way.
That's just the way it is. I like that, man. And I mean, I tell this to the glory of God, right? I was part of the first of the people who were privileged to hear the song before it came out. You remember?
True. And guess what? Just as when I had the song, I was studying it and chilling around it to just take time. I would share the process of how it even came out. You know, I think Wadley and I are cool, but he didn't also recognize what I saw from that song. And I didn't doubt it, but I knew it was the next thing. But now the way to get to the next thing was what
you had to figure out.
I had to figure out. Thank you. When I did that song, I knew say this one would be different level. But how you go feel swing, like make sure this one gets to them. No. Now guess what happened? Anybody I met who is my clique, I'm like, listen to this song. Hey, when they hear I'm say, hey, sir. So we got to a point where I had my wife and a friend in the studio. So I'm like, okay, winning. That was the day when I opened the song. I was recording another song, so I needed a break. So whilst we were vibing, I remembered, oh, okay, let me play this one to you because it's a song that I shock everybody with, like, what do you think of the song? And then when she heard it, they were like, oh, yeah. And then I took the opportunity to even fix something on the song right there and there to complete it, scrap record. And then I sent it to them, say, Joe, reception and sound you said, because bro, my tron more but way there. Me who there may be replace vibe we are. Lyric wise, a bit maintain feel na mami. Although I have the pray go better no, because that one, because the song is supposed to uplift because of the times we're in, you know, to even add on to the album. So guess what? Aisha was the friend, so she went on live with it one time, and I think that was the part that. And guess the coincidence? When I was sending it to them, I made a mistake, and I sent them the very, very, very core one, the first one, which was short and not finished. I made a mistake because I was, and that was a good, like a genuine mistake, but it was supposed to happen. So, guess what? However it was, I woke up one day and it was on Tunde Ednot's page, and they're like, is this the same Stonebwoy who wrote it? And I'm like, oh. So then the song had to be released, but I still said we'll forget. We'll go release them in December. We were somewhere, we were in September or something like that. So we'll go release them in December or in October. Then my wife came and said, we did random. We did random. No, I think it's something super important. I mean, it's important. I say, Mafia, when they released the song. I said, no, the song, and that was like a Friday.
Yeah.
Or a Saturday. Sunday, no way I've just released the song. Because the way the boss, they come in, you know, I needed to. And that's how we got Putu. And now we have the remix is fire. I can bet money on that. The remix has now grown to be like, you know, if Putu was trials, this is the real song. This is the actual.
The actual, yeah.
Coming from a rhythm point. Because the French guys understood that, because the Putu was a big song in Togo. It started in Togo to be big before it, I don't know, I'm sure. I saw Togolese jump to it, then subsequently the French-speaking Africans, before it got really big, before I even shot the video. So I even shot the video in Togo. So big respect to Adebayo, he hosted us and, you know, sorted that out because he actually loved the song.